Hey everybody, welcome back. In today's video, I want to talk about really the difference between like introverts and extroverts. Now in this video, I'm really just giving you my opinion of what I think and kind of, I guess something that I think can help you guys out there if you're like really introverted and you want to learn to be extroverted. Again, what I kind of wanted to do was give you out there who are maybe introverted kind of like a tip, I guess, because I know a lot of times, and even me, I still feel it now, a lot of times people say, hey, well, you just got to get out there and talk to more people, right? But a lot of times we're like, well, that's the problem, we don't know how to do that, right? And I get it, you have to just go out there and try, but a lot of times we stop ourselves, and there's not like something that can like help you when you're in that moment, other than just pushing through. So I kind of wanted to share this with you just to see if maybe this helps you out. So kind of what I've observed is, a big difference between introverts and extroverts obviously is, the mental side. But for me, the way I kind of have like phrased it is, the difference between like an introvert and extrovert is the introvert has too much respect for people, whereas the extrovert doesn't. And what I mean by that is, if you're an introverted person, right, and you have a tough time talking to people, a lot of times, at least for me, what ends up happening is if you're in a conversation and someone says something, right, when they're speaking, you believe what they're saying, right? So because you believe what they're saying, if they say something and then you believe it, and then they were just joking, right? You take it like really seriously, right? So like, for example, if you're like just out at like a bar or a club, right? As an introverted person, when you start having a conversation with somebody, right, you kind of believe that everything that they're saying is true. But if you speak to a lot of people that are extroverted and they go out a lot, they know that a lot of people like to bullshit, right? So they know that when they enter in a conversation with someone at a bar or something, they know when they leave the conversation, chances are most of the stuff they said was not true. And this is more than just like, going out to a bar and stuff like that. So I'll give you another example, right? Let's just say there's two guys, one's introverted, one's extroverted. They both go up and ask a girl out for her number. And let's just say the introvert asks first. And the girl says, oh, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. Right? Again, the introverted person believes that statement, right? And again, if you have respect for the person you're talking to, there's really no other question to ask. You just said you have a boyfriend, I understand, right? You walk away, right? But we know, right, that the extroverted person, if you were to ask them, more times than not, if they were to ask the same question, right, and the girl were to say, I have a boyfriend, usually the extroverted person is not really going to believe that that's a true statement, and they're going to keep going, right? They're going to keep asking another question. But again, why would you ask another question if you believed and you respected what the person initially told you? You wouldn't, right? And since I've observed it, it's just kind of what I feel is a good way to kind of express like the difference in mindset between an introvert and extrovert. I'll give you another example that's not like dating, right? Let's just say you get a text from a number that you don't know, and the person just says, hey, how is everything going, right? Now I'll give you a second. How would you respond to a text on a number you don't know? So I feel like a lot of introverts may answer it in a way similar to this. They may say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have this number saved. Who is this? Again, you are saying sorry for not having the number saved because you respect what the person is texting you and the fact that they would not be texting you if they didn't know you. Whereas I think an extrovert may just text, who is this? And not give anything else, just say, who is this? Because again, if the extrovert person doesn't have as much respect as maybe an introverted person for people, then I feel like they're more likely to just say, who is this? And make the other person prove to them who they are before acknowledging something. Now, before I get too far into the video, I want to make sure I'm clear on this. I'm not saying that extroverts have no respect for people, right? I'm just saying that if you were to sit down and talk to some people that are extroverts, they will tell you that when they're in conversations with people, they may not know they do this actually, subconsciously, but when they're in conversations with people, they know that a lot of times when, you're extrovert and you're out there and you're talking to a lot of people, you just start to understand that some things people say are not true, right? And if you were to believe every statement that you hear from strangers as being truthful, right, you would just not set yourself up, right, for success. We'll just use the example of, let's just say if you're a girl, right? If you were a girl and you're more extrovert, right, obviously you're probably going to get hit on a lot, right? If you believed everything that a guy said, you probably aren't going to be in many good situations, right? Because a lot of guys are be lying to get what they want, right? So as an extroverted person, you just learn that even though you're in a conversation with them, when the conversation's over, you kind of have this thought that maybe they weren't telling the truth with a lot of things that they were saying. Another great example is my job, right? I do real estate, right? I think a lot of you guys have watched some of my videos, So I've been calling expired listings. So what those are sellers who tried to sell their home. They listed with the previous realtor. It didn't sell in the time frame that they had signed the contract, and now it expires, right? So now I call these sellers up and see if they're looking to sell it still. And if they are, right, if I can help them get their home sold. Now, when I first started making the calls would kind of go a little bit like this, right? Obviously, much choppier. I was very new. So they'd pick up the phone, and then I would say, hi, my name is Vincent with Realty One. I'm looking for John, right? This is John. Most of the conversations don't go that way. But when I finally got someone to say, this is John, then I would say, hi, John. I saw your home popped up on the expired list. I was just calling to see, did you still want to sell it? And then sometimes I would get the response or the objection, we call it in real estate, of, oh no, I took the home off the market. So I would respond with, okay, no problem. I hope you have a good day. And then I hang up the phone. Right? If you're watching this and you're a realtor, you're like, you're a freaking idiot. Right? But I would hang up the phone, and then what would happen is I would check back a week later, right? Because I'm calling every day. I would check back and I see they listed their property. So I'd say to myself, they just said they took the home off the market, but then they relisted it, right? So again, the introverted me respected them too much, right? When they said something, right, effective communication is you're supposed to believe them, right? So when they say, we're taking the home off the market, I believe them. We're going to list, 6 months down the road, I believe them, even though they listed a week later, right? Or we got a renter in there, even though a week later they're listed, right? So I would hear these excuses constantly, and they would still list the property, right? Oh, I don't want to list with another realtor, right? I'm going to sell it myself, and 3 days later they're listed, right? So that cycle kept happening, and then I said to myself, these people want to sell. They want to list with a realtor, but they're telling me they're not. So if I keep hanging up the phone and just saying, okay, no problem, I hope you have a good day, I am not going to get any of those listings. And again, with effective communication, when someone says something to you, you're kind of supposed to believe them, right? That's why they're telling you it. But that's kind of where I had the pull, which is these people clearly want to sell. They keep listing their homes, and I'm not getting them. So you have to start to realize that it's an objection, right? They're saying it, obviously, because in that specific situation, right, they're getting 30 plus calls from realtors. So they are saying that because they know it's an easy way to probably get a lot of realtors off the phone. Just like girls, when they say, I have a boyfriend, a lot of girls say that because it's an easy way to get guys to leave them alone. Which is why I said kind of in the middle of the video, I am not saying in no way that extroverts have a disrespect for people. It's just an understanding that sometimes what they're saying is not what they actually mean. And you have to be able to push past that to get to what they really mean. And again, I feel like this is a good tip for you I feel like this is a good tip for those of you out there who are introverted and you're like, well, how do I go about talking to people? Because I feel like this is something I think that happens in almost any conversation you're in if you're an introverted person. When you hear something, you internalize it as a true statement. So you don't ask more questions. Whereas an extroverted person who's been in hundreds and thousands of conversations understands that there are multiple times, probably more times than not, where you're in a conversation and the person talking to you is not telling you the whole truth. And now you have to keep going to get the truth out of them. So that's the end of the video. I really hope this video brought you guys value. For those of you out there watching, really anyone watching, whether you're more extroverted or introverted, I hope maybe this helped you maybe kind of be able to say like, I do that all the time actually. Yeah, like when I'm in a conversation and someone says something, I believe it's true, so I don't question it anymore, right? So hopefully that helps. Again, if you guys liked the video, make sure to hit the like button. Please subscribe. Again, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. I do post them weekly, so make sure you look out for the next one. Thank you guys so much. Bye.